Hey guys, this is John with CheatSheetPros.com, and today on August 26, 2020, I got a couple tweaks I'm going to make to the 2020 MLB cheat sheet, and I wanted to explain them real quick. So this will be a hopefully short and quick video. So one of the things I had last year was the team runs per game and average over the last 7 days. Well, the problem, ESPN is not doing the last 7-day average anymore, so you can go back and pull the month, but it's very difficult to grab. So each day I'm manually going to go into Fangraphs and pull the team's last 10-day runs per game and team average so we can get a look at how the teams are doing. I really like this over the season, which is what I've had it previously this year, because the season, it just all kind of skews together and you get just a blah average that's not very exciting. But the last 10 days, you can tell if a team's getting hot, if they're getting cold, if they're doing well. And that's good for picking stacks and picking pitchers. So this will be updated today when I post the sheet here in the next hour. And then the other thing, a couple days ago, I added the pitcher BABIP. One of the reasons I added this is I found myself, once I would look at the sheet, I would always go look up the BABIPs and see what kind of story it's telling. And so either you guys really understand BABIP or no one has really noticed it down here on the bottom of the sheet, because I've only had one person ask a question. So if you don't know, BABIP stands for batting average on balls in play. So for example, a pitcher could have a batter hit 10 ground balls, and they could either go right to the shortstop or they could go between the shortstop and the third baseman for a hit. So it's just kind of a luck factor on where that ball is hit, if they get to it, whatnot. So per Fangraphs, BABIP average for all pitchers is about 300. So for me, if it's 280 to 320, it's kind of average. I kind of clump it together. Now, if we get on the extremes, the high or the low, that indicates that a pitcher has either had some very bad luck or been very lucky. So, for example, if you have the same two pitchers and they both have 10 ground balls hit, except for one hits it up the middle every time for a hit, and then the other one hits it right to the second baseman, shortstop, whatever, and gets thrown out, those pitchers could be doing the same thing, but the BABIP is changing. One of them's going to have a really high, one of them's going to have a really low. So I have these little indicators here that say like SP bad luck or pitcher lucky to indicate extremes on the BABIP. So it just happened to be the first one that I looked at today. We've got one on each side, one high, one low. So for example, Kevin Gausman, he's got an ERA of 4.65, which is like, it's kind of an average MLB pitcher. But his xFIP says it should be closer to 292. Well, when I look over here at his BABIP, and I see 363, okay, that's higher than the 300 to 320, so he's had some bad luck. So some balls have been hit that got through the gaps, and that's what's driving up his ERA. But on an average ERA, or average BABIP, he should have a 292 xFIP, so that's really good. So that kind of tells a story for me if I do like Gausman. Kershaw, on the other hand, you see pitcher lucky, so his BABIP is 192. That's extremely low. So a couple of things could be happening. One, he could be a soft contact pitcher that's doing really well and no one's hitting him hard, or the majority of the time that pitcher is due for regression, and those balls that are hit are going to start dropping in for hits, and he's going to start giving up a few more runs. So I like stacking against a pitcher that the stack might be low owned if they've got a really low BABIP, because that could be a sign of regression. But anyways, those are the two things that I've got added in here, are the pitcher BABIP, and then we're going to go to the last 10 days average for team runs to get a little bit better analysis. So far, we've been on fire with the cheat sheet. I've been able to put together some good pitchers, some good stacks. I try every day really hard to get somewhat of an article put out of kind of what I'm seeing in the sheet and what I'm looking at. If I've got time, I'll put screenshots in there. Yesterday, I had a very large bet on the Chicago White Sox, and I really liked Giolito, and Giolito threw a no-hitter, and the Sox won 4-0. So for my DFS stack, it really wasn't good, 4 runs. It still did decent and cashed, but the bet was locked in once they got 2 runs and Giolito was on the run of the no-hitter. I was pretty good with that. And I also hit 2 more pitcher prop bets with Giolito strikeouts over 7.5, and I think he ended with 13 with his no-hitter. And then I went Bieber over 8.5, but I wasn't excited about it. but it was only minus 115, and he ended up having a rough outing, and he's someone who had a lower BABIP, but he's been pretty dominant this year. And he ended up hitting, I saw him hit 9 strikeouts. I don't know if he got above that or not. I quit watching because my bet was won. So anyways, I'm going to get this sheet updated and I'll have it out posted within the next hour, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple quick updates. So good luck, guys.